Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics, Last Non-Classics, episode number 622 and double number 526. Like I said in the last episode, two Superman-related trades. First up, it is Supergirl, Volume 3, Girl of No Tomorrow, collecting the issues 12 through 14 of Supergirl Volume 7 and the annual. Yep, the annual. Simply put, this is kind of what the Supergirl book is leading up to. It's Supergirl versus the Fatal Five. Yeah, that's simply what the main storyline for this is. And also the public finding out that, yeah, she know for a fact that her father is, well, the cyborg Superman from the first trade. And that's really what it comes to that. Now, the Fatal Five in here, the present incarnation of is made up of a woman named Selena. No, not Selena Kyle, a different woman. Solomon Grundy, Indigo, Mogog, and of course the Emerald Empress. Yep, this is them. Very good two-page spread. Yeah. And during the course of all these events, because of what happened with Supergirl and kind of her family reputation, thanks. Also, the book opens simply right where the last one left off with Cat Grant shooting Supergirl with a kryptonite bullet. Yeah, it turns out it was all a complete illusion. Yep. And of course, people kind of basically are mistrusting Supergirl because of this. Now, this is kind of tying into what goes on the Supergirl TV show where people kind of losing their trust because of her going nuts. Yeah, so it took inspiration for that. And because of all this, the regional director of the DEO, Cameron Chase, resigns. And the one person I think a lot of people have not seen since the Tony Bedard run for Blue Beetle, Director Bones. Yep, first time he's actually up in here, and he becomes pretty much a regular character in the series for pretty much up for the next like 6 issues before it was supposedly canceled, and now it's been uncanceled. Yes, they ended it just this month, and then it's going to resume like 3 months from now in August with a new writer, Mark Andrego, on the writing. I don't remember who's doing the artwork, but she's getting Supergirl's getting a new costume redesign. The writing here is done by Steve Orlando, with artwork by a few different people. It's done by Robin Zaruka, Steve Puck, and Jose Luis. The cover art in here is done by Robin Zaruka, Daniel Harkowitz, who is the inker, one of the inkers in here, and Michael Atis, who is the colorist of this particular run. Yeah. Great set of stories. This is a really good storyline. Kind of wraps up pretty much most of the Supergirl run at this particular point. Though pretty much after this Supergirl book pretty much is starting to lead to its end of this particular run. Though starting with issue 15, Jody Hall takes over, comes on as a co-writer for pretty much the remaining 6 issues of this particular run. Well, 5 because she skips the Pendulum issue. I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10. It's just really good. I enjoy this one. Next up, it is I would say this is the third to last trade for this particular run. Excuse me. And this is Superman Volume 5, Hopes and Fears. Written by Pierre De Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, Keith Campaign, and James Booney. Artwork with Scott Goski, Tyler Kirkup, Doug Mankey, Ed Baines, Rob Hunter. Yeah, he was someone who was going to meet today, but I completely forgot about getting an autograph from him. Scott Hanna, Jamie Medina, and Philip Tan. The cover book in here is done by Lee Weeks and Brad Anderson. Yep. Now, simply put with this one, this is just a series of stories. Like the first, I think it's the first 3 issues in here. I think it is. I think it's first 2 or 3. Yeah, it's done by Pierre De Tomasi. It's just the Kents going on vacation. Yep. Which pretty much ends in Gettysburg. That's simply the first 2 issues. Yeah, it's just a good educational set of issues that came out last year. Yeah. Really good. Next couple stories by Keith Campaign features the return for the first time since the first arc of Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps, Sinestro. Yep, Sinestro makes his epic return. First time in a year that he's actually shown up. Yeah, also, here's some awesome artwork by Doug Mankey. He makes Superman look really good. Though the cover kind of reminds me of an Action Comics cover from New 52. Yeah, that's what kind of reminds me of. I would say toward just prior to before the Rebirth. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of one of the pre-Rebirth covers. And if you're curious what Sinestro looks like under Dank Mickey's artwork, also the return of Parallax, first time since the first arc of Hal joined the Green Lantern Corps. Yeah, he's another person. And here is Doug Mankey depiction of Sinestro. It's really good. Yep. Yeah, it's a really good story. The last couple issues is Superman versus Deathstroke, which kind of, well, I would probably say it's kind of a mild, let's say, follow-up, or at least loose time what goes on in Deathstroke itself. Yeah, where, now I get maybe why James Mooney did the writing for this thing. After all, he was the preceding writer of Christopher Priest, so it kind of makes sense. Keith Campaign doing Sinestro, that doesn't make much sense. Now, when these issues came out, I'm like, that didn't make much sense because Keith Campaign has never written Sinestro before. I would have thought that maybe Colin Bunn would be a good person to write these issues, but maybe because he's tied up with Marvel and in the Image right now, maybe he was just too busy. That is just my personal theory on the matter. Yeah. The whole thing with Sinestro, like, first part, it's just Lois Lane getting an interview with him, and then the next issue is Deathstroke playing the game of trying to kill Lois to get the Superman, though he fails. And it turns out the whole thing was organized by Amanda Waller. I'm not kidding about that. Yeah, but luckily enough, with the next issue, PJ Tomasi takes over. He comes back as the writer of the book. Yep. For pretty much the remainder of this whole run, up until it just ended with issue 45. Yeah, this run only lasted for 45 issues. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty okay amount of time for a book comes out twice a month. So yeah, there's going to be about, well, I'd say about 13 more issues left to collect at this point. So that's about 2, maybe 3 more trades left to come out that collects issues of Superman. Though you also got to have, for this particular run, probably about 2-ish, far as I can tell, because there's also Super Sons tomorrow, which I think that is going to come out really soon. And according to Tomasi, he told me that the Super Sun series is getting an omnibus right after the series, not long after the series ends, where it collects all 16 issues, the annual, and the Super Sons Tomorrow crossover, which is really amazing. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good, and I thoroughly enjoy this. Good. Yeah. It's just, yeah, you can kind of think of this as a series of stories until you get to the next thing. Alright, so that's it for the next episode. Next episode will be featuring one person I have reviewed before, Deathstroke. Will be Deathstroke trade next episode, and a trade that I have never reviewed anything but this guy before. And as far as I can tell, this is one of, I'd say, the first of 2 trades that have been released to feature this particular character. Though the other one features a different version of this character. Okay, but the next episode will be episode number 623 and Doubleshot number 527. Okay, but until we see you in the next episode. Bye.